If you've ever walked through an abandoned piece of farmland, you've probably felt that mix of sadness and possibility. Cracked soil, eroded slopes, stubborn weeds, and maybe a rusty old plow leaning against a fence post. At first glance, it feels like land that has given up. But let me tell you from experience, those forgotten corners hold more potential than meets the eye. With vision, patience, and the principles of permaculture, what looks like a worn-out farm can be reborn into a thriving terraced paradise. Today on Soil Sage Chronicles, I want to share not only how this transformation is possible, but also the specific steps that can take you from barren slopes to abundant living landscapes. Whether you're working on a small backyard plot or managing acres of farmland, the principles are the same. Heal the land, work with nature, and design for abundance. Old farmland often tells the story of extraction. Decades of tilling, monoculture, and synthetic inputs usually leave soil compacted and stripped of life. Rain runs off instead of sinking in, carrying away topsoil in muddy rivers. Slopes erode, native plants vanish, and what remains is a cycle of degeneration. When I first set foot on the farm that would become my terraced permaculture project, I saw patches of hardpan, gullies slicing through hillsides, and weeds standing where crops used to grow. Honestly, it was intimidating. But permaculture teaches us to see problems as opportunities. That erosion gully, a future water channel, that steep slope, a perfect candidate for terraces, that weedy field, nature's cover crop waiting to be directed. One of the most dramatic transformations you can make on sloping farmland is terracing. This ancient practice, used for centuries in Asia, South America, and Africa, allows us to take land that bleeds water and turn it into land that saves water. By cutting level steps across a slope, we create flat growing spaces that hold both soil and moisture. Instead of watching rain rush downhill, terraces slow it, spread it, and sink it. On my farm, I began with hand-dug swales and small berms to guide the water. Then, with time and effort, those swales grew into proper terraces supported by stone walls and living tree roots. The difference was astonishing. Where once nothing but thorny weeds clung to the hillside, I now had rich flat beds producing sweet potatoes, beans, and bananas. Terracing doesn't just stop erosion, it creates microclimates. Each step becomes its own little ecosystem, and suddenly the slope is a patchwork of productivity instead of a scar. Terraces give you structure, but the real magic happens when you restore the soil. An old farm soil is often as tired as the land looks. The first rule of healing is simple: stop disturbing it. No more deep plowing, no more naked earth exposed to the sun. I started layering organic matter, manure, crop residues, wood chips, and leaf litter right onto the terraces. This mulch protected the soil from heat and erosion, while worms and microbes slowly transformed it into humus. Where organic matter was scarce, I brewed compost tea using local weeds and animal manure. Every splash of that tea felt like sending probiotics into a sick stomach. Cover crops became my allies. Legumes fixed nitrogen. Deep-rooted plants like daikon radish broke up compacted layers. Fast-growing greens shaded the soil and smothered weeds. Within 2 seasons, soil that once baked into dust was alive again, dark, crumbly, and full of earthworms. Permaculture isn't just about soil and terraces, it's about designing relationships between all the elements. Instead of planting in rows and hoping for the best, I asked, how can this system care for itself? I positioned fruit trees along the terrace edges for shade and root stability. Beneath them, nitrogen-fixing shrubs created fertility. Vines like passion fruit climbed up trellises, taking advantage of vertical space. Chickens scratched between terraces, eating pests while adding manure. A pond at the base caught runoff, turning wasted water into a fish and irrigation resource. This layered approach created what permaculturists call a food forest. Every plant had a role. Some fed us, some fed the soil, and some simply protected their neighbors. The beauty was that the system grew more resilient with time. Where traditional farming fights against nature, permaculture farms learn to farm with nature. On degraded land, water is usually the biggest problem, either too much running off or too little soaking in. Terracing was my first line of defense, but water design went deeper than that. I dug swales, shallow trenches on contour, that caught rainfall and allowed it to sink into the terraces below. Small check dams in erosion gullies slowed water flow and encouraged silt to settle, gradually filling in and restoring lost soil. Every drop of water that hit my land had a job: soak, spread, or store. I also learned to harvest roof runoff into tanks, giving me a steady supply during dry months. Gray water from the farmhouse was redirected into reed beds where plants filtered it before it seeped back into the land. Water wasn't just conserved, it became the very backbone of fertility. Transforming an old farm into a terraced permaculture paradise doesn't happen overnight. In the first year, you'll mostly see hard work and small gains. By the second, you'll notice the soil softening and plants thriving. By the third and fourth, the system starts to hum like a living machine. I remember the day I harvested a basket of tomatoes from a terrace that once held only bare clay. That moment carried a kind of joy only gardeners and farmers understand, the feeling that the land is finally breathing again. The birds returned, pollinators buzzed, and suddenly what had been a silent, eroded slope was alive with sound and color. You don't need acres of abandoned farmland to apply these lessons. Even a backyard garden can benefit from permaculture thinking. Build small terraces with timber or stones. Mulch heavily. Plant guilds of crops that support each other. Harvest rainwater in barrels. Start small and observe. The land will tell you what it needs if you listen closely enough. And remember, perfection isn't the goal. Regeneration is. Each season should leave your soil richer, your plants stronger, and your ecosystem more balanced. When I look at my terraced farm today, I don't see the gullies, weeds, and hardpan anymore. I see rows of bananas shading young cassava. I see chickens scratching happily in the mulch. I see soil that smells sweet and alive. What was once a scar on the hillside is now a sanctuary. And that's the heart of permaculture, turning problems into solutions and wastelands into wonderlands. Whether you're reclaiming an old farm or simply trying to make your backyard more resilient, the principles are the same. Work with nature, not against it. If this journey from abandoned farm to terraced paradise inspires you, I'd love for you to continue it with me. Subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles, share this story with fellow gardeners, and let's keep learning how to heal our land together. One terrace, one seed, one season at a time.